What are you doing, buddy? You trying to take this tree down? Trying to take this tree down? You are not a beaver, my man. You are never going to get this tree down. This thing's too tall. You were bound and determined to get whatever's in there, eh? Ah, bless you. You don't have COVID, do you? Well, just in case, I'm going to back up about 6 feet. Ah. Boy, you might just get this tree down. Well, you are working on it, aren't you? What do you think you see in there, man? Careful. Don't break your teeth. Break your teeth off. We don't need to do that. All right, we're getting ready to... Yikes. Hey, you about done? I want to continue the walk, and I don't think you're getting anything else out of here, Ted. I absolutely don't believe you're... I don't think you're listening to me, are you? The tree's already down. What more do you want? Hmm? All right. I gotta get moving, man. I can't watch you peel bark off this thing all day. All right. I'll see you later. Well, this is new. I thought it was on state property. Oh, what the heck that is? It's plastic, so it wouldn't be a very good property boundary marker, but huh. Yeah, this is really really odd. I'm gonna have to look on the GPS and see where we are. And by new, I mean new. That's interesting. I mean, you'd have to hike in here. And this appears to be like right in the middle of nowhere, so I'm not quite sure what this would all be about. And just give you a quick, this is super steep here. This is like climbing steep. There is nowhere that you can easily get into this spot. So it's not like a state truck drove up and had that designated spot for a camping area or something. This mountain goes up behind us here. I don't see any other blue markings. And who'd ever been in there was in there within the last day, because the paint was still wet and there's orange peels that had not curled yet. So like I said, that's kind of perplexing, because that is like a super random spot in the middle, literally, the middle of nowhere. Hey, Ted. Hey, dude. So if I hold the camera even, and now I'll tilt up, should give you a little bit of the idea of the grade. So up there is where that road that we ran into in one of my other videos. We had to climb, I think that's probably the, not really a cliff, but a pretty good ledge up there. And I think there is like a snowmobile trail or something up top there where it kind of levels out. So I'll be able to walk on the even again. All right. And we got here. So this is where that tree is cut in my other video. I'll see if I can find that other video and put a link to it. And then we go this way. And then we headed up there. And that's when we went up to the top of that hill there and the trail stopped. And then the trail continues on this way. Although I noticed it's a lot harder to see this time of the year. But it's still a trail, and we're gonna go this way. Whew, I hope. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the GPS on, because I've got this part of the trail, this little loop piece, but I have no idea where this one is in relation to anything else. So I'm gonna put the GPS on just so I can track this part back. It's funny, wherever you go, you always manage to find somebody's trash. But in this case, there's bite marks in this. So I get the distinct impression that somebody that wasn't human carried this up here. Yeah. It's probably a bear carrying somebody's garbage up here or something. But it's looking at me like this trail's kind of disappearing here. Step back onto it again. It hasn't been maintained in a very long time. Kind of goes down, but there are a few, whoops, focus. There are a few water bars in here, so this was a trail at one point or another. It's kind of odd, that's all. And I don't really see anything else. I don't see any markers. I don't see anything that even really looks like a trail now. I'm gonna go down to that spot down there because that looks semi-flat, so that may be something, but it could just be like this, where this kind of looks
5 minutes completed. You've covered 0.08 miles. Your current speed is 0 miles per hour.
Yeah, that would be because I'm standing still. All right, so I came down through there and I found a rock. Well, it looks like the letter A anyways. And then this right here does look like an active water bar. And that's starting to look like a trail again down here. But this is a good sized rock. This rock's at least 5 feet tall. That's pretty cool. Sort of a bummer for the tree though. And this kind of looks like remnants of an old stone wall. They look dumped in too well to be just rando. In fact, this may not be rando. I was thinking at first maybe it just slid down the hill, but that's kind of an odd positioning. Although there's another big rock there. What do you think, Ted? They're pretty cool? You should get on the tall side where all the dirt isn't. What's there? What's there? I was trying to get him to stand next to it. All right, I'm gonna continue on down that way. Doesn't look like much of a trail, right, Ted? But these weren't cut by a beaver. So I guess that's a good sign. It's some kind of a trail. All right. This is kind of a nasty little development. As you can see, it's pretty thick stuff in here. So we've come down off the hill and walked into this wall.
15 minutes completed. You've covered 0.24 miles.
So
Your current speed is 0 miles per hour.
Yes. I'm standing still again, I get it. We came down from the top of that hill over here, crossed across that ridge, climbed up the embankment where you can't see over there. So we haven't really gone real far, but I'm still trying to follow this vague remnant of a trail, and it's starting to disappear. So I think this is going to be about it for this. It looks like this was probably an old logging trail or part of one of the old farm trails from maybe 100 years ago, and that's all that's left of it. I was starting to look at those water bars, and the more I looked at them, I saw moss on top of them, a lot of it. So I would say nobody's maintained these roads, not even for snowmobiles, in a very long time. Hey, Ted. All right. So at this point, the trail's completely gone. And there's nothing. Nothing at all. So Ted and I decided to make the completely random decision to not go back the way we came, and then we're just going to follow a random river down. And
20 minutes completed. You've covered 0.35 miles. Your current speed is 0 miles per hour.
And don't listen to the GPS because I've actually covered less than that. I did most of that just standing still. So we're going to head down this way. Hear the woodpecker up there. And we'll find the river, and hopefully we'll find a spot that we can cross it. That's the only sucky part, if we run into some really heavy foliage again. Although I do have my defense tool with me. So Fiskars have saved me a few times. I always travel with these things, because one of the things that I found is that if you get into the really big pricker bushes, sometimes you get stuck in those things. And if you get stuck in those things, I gotta get these things closed. Normally they lock better. That might be the only way to get yourself out. And I've had to cut myself out of those things before. And I've had to cut Ted out of those things before. The pricker bushes here are absolutely amazing. I mean, this is really beautiful. This is why I live out here. This whole area of those annoying woodpeckers is really amazing. Closer you get to the river, the worse it generally tends to get. All of your really good hiking is up in the mountain where it's a lot less dense. The forest is spread out a lot more, and you can pretty much walk, as long as you don't mind straight up and straight down, you can pretty much walk without being hindered by anything. All right, Ted, we're going. And another old stone wall. And we're down to the main river. So that means we are officially on our way back home, because this is one of the public hiking trails on the state property. So we made the loop that I expected, kind of ish. Which bridge is this? Oh yeah, it's our first bridge. All right, you've probably seen this one in some of my other videos. Ted was just walking across this, actually. Yeah, so if we continue up that way, we'll get to that other bridge.
25 minutes completed. You've covered
here we are.
0.44 miles. Your
What's
current
up, man?
speed is 0 miles per
That's what he's
hour.
up to. Ted doesn't like to poop in the woods. I don't know why that is. All right. So I guess this is the end of our hike. The last time Ted and I were out on this hike, I was carrying him because his feet were frozen. Needless to say, I'm liking this hike. Well, the results of it anyways, a little bit better. A lot of fun. I like going on little random hikes every once in a while. Good to get a chance to go someplace you haven't gone before. And I'm not really one for hiking on trails. Although, my wife did say to me one time, what would happen if you had a heart attack up there? And I told her, well, all I can do is hope the dog makes it back. Other than that, you are never finding the body.